What if I told you that pre-diabetes is not just a warning, but a ticking time bomb?
India is sitting on a diabetes time bomb.
11% Indians are diabetics, while
India is often called the diabetes capital of the world.
77 million.
101 million people in India
It's a serious issue.
were detected with diabetes.
One that millions in India are carrying silently, without any problems, without any idea. And yet, this is one of the few conditions that can be totally reversed even without medicine. Yes, let that feeling sink in. According to the ICMR study, which is the Indian Council of Medical Research, there are 130 million people in India who are affected by pre-diabetes. They are not suffering, they are affected by pre-diabetes. That literally means that 1 in 5 adults is walking around with pre-diabetes and doesn't even know about it. We all hear from social media, cut sugar, have low carbs, exercise regularly, and you'll be fine. But is it that simple? Pre-diabetes is a metabolic imbalance. It is not just sugars, it is a metabolic problem. And only one method will not be able to solve it. It needs a multi-layered, science-backed approach. And in this video, I'm going to share just that. So let's explore 5 key strategies rooted in Indian dietary practices and backed by scientific evidence that will help you reverse your pre-diabetes. And if you stay till the end, there's one more bonus tip that I'll let you know about. So the first strategy is to focus on macronutrients. We often see many people saying that I am doing a low carb diet. Well, our meal was meant to be a balanced diet. By balanced, we mean it's a balanced proportion of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. It cannot be any one in excess and the others less. We need to have a balance on these macronutrients. The problem with most of our Indian meals, apart from the portion sizes, is that it's heavily loaded with carbs or carbohydrates as we call it. Be it our roti, be it our sabzi, be it our rice, or even the small amount of dal, the snacks that we like, or even the sweets. Everything is loaded with a lot of carbohydrates. And for those who think that only added sugars are poison, remember, all carbohydrates, especially simple carbohydrates, are essentially also only sugar. Carbohydrates are also broken down metabolically to form glucose, which is the other name for sugar. So excess of carbs literally means an excess of sugar in a disguised form. When carbohydrates are broken down into glucose, and in case you have some amount of insulin resistance, then that glucose is not well accepted by the body cells. And that excess of glucose is what will give rise to pre-diabetes. And if still not identified, modified, or treated at this stage, the chances of developing diabetes and the complications are high. So when we say balance the macronutrients, the best strategy is to start with proteins. So according to a study by the Indian Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism, increasing the protein intake has shown to improve the insulin sensitivity and reduce the sugar spikes of your meals. So the most helpful strategy would be to increase the consumption of dal, maybe increase the amount of pulses that you are having, and increase the amount of protein-rich food in your diet, which would be paneer, tofu, or even eggs. And for non-vegetarians, you also have a lot of options available. Dahi also is a very important source of protein for all of us. For breakfast, replacing your sugary and carb-laden diet of cereals and bread with protein-rich food, which may be chana or moong or sprouts, or even going for egg salad, they all are other useful ways to start the morning. Next comes the role of healthy fats. Yes, fats can be healthy too. So as a part of balancing your macronutrients, the next to be really thought about is choosing healthy fats. So ghee in moderation, using coconut oil, or going for seeds and nuts. It may be almonds, walnuts, or even flax seeds and chia seeds. They all give you healthy fats which help you balance the macronutrients that we are targeting at. These help to improve your satiety and also reduce the amount of glucose spikes that one can have. Fats also slow down digestion, means you will have less amount of sugar rush and sugar crash after eating. And the third thing to be careful about is choosing fiber. When you eat more of vegetables, salads, and fruits, not juices, fruits, you are giving more fiber to your body. And then comes the role of carbohydrates. So when you choose macronutrients, go from the top priority to the least. And if you make this one big change in your normal diet, it will be very helpful for you. So when you want to fix or balance your macronutrients, going from protein, then fats, then fiber, and then carbohydrates is the way to choose. The second strategy that we'll talk of is what to eat. So once you've understood the macros, choosing the specific food is now key. So here you should start with choosing your vegetables. Have 2 to 3 servings of vegetables per day if possible. Here, leafy greens like spinach, methi, or even moringa or drumstick are very helpful. They are rich in magnesium and polyphenols, both of which help to improve the insulin sensitivity. Then come your superfoods which you can have. Turmeric, onion, garlic, all are very useful to improve the amount of digestion that you can have, and they have good anti-inflammatory effect as well. Turmeric, especially when combined with black pepper, is known to improve the insulin sensitivity. Another important thing that you can have on a daily basis is amla, which is rich in vitamin C, a very good anti-inflammatory agent too. Choosing the right grains is also very essential, because skip those polished rice and polished wheat that you really love their appearance about. You can replace polished rice with brown rice or hand-pounded rice. You can even add millets like bajra and jowar or ragi to your daily routine. A study published in the Journal of Food Science and Technology showed that when incorporating millets in Indian diet, gave rise to significant reductions in the fasting glucose level as well as the HbA1c level in pre-diabetic individuals. For fruits, moderation is the key. Choose fruits which have a low glycemic index. So you may choose from apple, guava, papaya, or even pomegranate. They are low in their glycemic index. They have high fiber. So these are the fruits that pre-diabetic person can eat safely. You should restrict the amount of high glycemic fruits which are available. These are mango, chiku, banana, and even grapes. Another important thing that you can do is to pair fruits with some dry fruits, and that helps to balance out the sugar spikes. The third strategy is to realize when to eat. The timing of your meal also plays an important role apart from just the meal portion and composition. Sometimes for us Indians, especially busy working professionals, meal timing is often irregular. We tend to have skipped breakfast, late dinners, and snacks in between meals. And most of these snacks also are high in carbohydrates. But science has a different story. Our body works on a circadian rhythm, and eating late really disturbs it. An interesting study from AIMS showed that people who had their dinner before 8 p.m. had better overall sugar levels as compared to someone who ate late. So when you have pre-diabetes, following something which is called as time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting is a very helpful way to eat food. So you don't need to starve yourself. You have to eat within a 7 to 12 hour eating window, and the rest of the hours are the fasting window. For example, if you finish dinner by 7:30 p.m., don't have your breakfast before 7:30 a.m. That gives you 12 hours of fasting in which body will try to regulate its own systems. During this fasting period, the insulin sensitivity also improves, the ability of cells to utilize glucose also improves. So there are many people who use intermittent fasting with 12-hour fasting windows. Some may increase it to 14 or 16 hours as well. So if you have pre-diabetes, intermittent fasting can really work wonders for you. Apart from just the eating, having post-meal walks is also very helpful. A 15-minute walk after lunch or dinner will help you reduce your glucose spikes, reduce your glucose absorption also. And for those of you who cannot be walking, They also have another method which we call as the calf muscle or soleus pump technique, in which using the soleus muscle, which is your calf muscle, to utilize glycogen is also another very useful way to reduce glucose spikes and glucose storage in your body. The fourth important strategy that is helpful is about what not to drink. Yes, apart from food, all the beverages that you have on a daily basis also play an important role in prediabetes. Talking of just tea and coffee, such common beverages for us in our regular routine. If you have tea or coffee 3 times in a day and you add sugar into that, it means you are adding 25 grams of sugar per day additional. So that is something that you definitely can restrict. So most of these packaged juices or so-called even health drinks are nothing but glucose in a juice form. And because they are stripped of the fiber, they will give rise to glucose spikes and they increase the chances of insulin resistance. So remember, eating a fruit is always better than choosing the juice. And of course, sugary sodas and sweetened lassi or thick shakes, they all are a strict no-no if you have prediabetes. So what should you drink instead? Water is your best friend. You can even have warm water with adding some lemon or mint into it with a pinch of salt. That works wonders. And having some coconut water in moderation also can be very helpful to hydrate you well. And the fifth essential strategy for you is change your lifestyle, not just your diet. Prediabetes is not just a food issue, it's a lifestyle issue. And unless you fix the other pillars of lifestyle, only diet plans will not really change much. The first important thing for you is to start moving. You must move every 30 to 40 minutes. If you're sitting, get up and walk. If you're standing, take a stroll around the office or wherever you're working. If you can't do 30 minutes walk, you can do 10-minute short walks 3 times a day. That also gives you the same benefit. The second important thing that you can incorporate into your lifestyle change is the role of exercise. Exercise in any form. It may be strength training, running, walking, swimming, or even doing yoga. All these exercises do improve the insulin sensitivity. They do use up your stored glycogen and carbs. So exercises are again beneficial to improve your condition of prediabetes. And the third thing to be careful about is choosing fiber. So when you have fiber in your food, which may be from vegetables, fruits, or even salads, you're doing your gut a very helpful thing. Fiber will help prevent glucose spikes and hence improve insulin sensitivity. So remember, it's not about eating less, it's about eating better. Then comes the role of stress. Stress and cortisol again plays an important role in really changing the glucose metabolism. So try to go for meditation or do things that you love to do to reduce the amount of stress in our routine, regular professional life. And lastly comes sleep. As I said, that the body works on a circadian rhythm, and when we disrupt that, the whole mechanisms can go wrong. So if we follow a particular pattern of waking up down to a pattern of sleeping in time, and 7 to 8 hours of deep sleep are very essential to maintain a proper healthy environment for your body. So remember, all these strategies are going to be helpful. It's not about one big step, but small acts done consistently that will give you results. And the last additional tip that I told you about is build a support system. When you're alone in your journey to fight prediabetes, having a support system will be very helpful to bring you back on track. You can do everything right, but if the environment is not really useful enough, you will go back to the same old habits. So talk to your family. Make sure you discuss things with your spouse. Let your spouse also accompany you in the walks that you take or the food that you choose to eat. You may even share your progress with a trusted friend or relative. There are many wellness groups also available which really boost the amount of confidence that one can have. So if you see someone who's already had results, you're likely to get influenced by that person more. So you can join wellness groups. It's not gyms. I'm talking of wellness groups that you can really be part of. And that all helps to build a proper support system. And of course, don't forget your doctor. Even though you do not have diabetes, pre-diabetes also needs a doctor's supervision and regular testing. Get your HbA1c checked every 3 to 6 months. Get your fasting sugar levels checked every month or two. And do follow the other advice that your doctor does give you. Sometimes short course of medicine may also be required in people who have pre-diabetes. And if you're still wondering about what may be the signs for pre-diabetes, do see this video.